Imagine a time on April 15th, tax day. It's just around the corner, nobody's stressed out or panicking. Imagine having a tax form the size of a postcard, regardless if you're single or married or 20 kids. This can happen as a country if we decide to reform our current complicated tax system and go to a simple flat tax. I'd like to tell you about how changing a flat tax would mean that everyone pays the same, regardless of the amount of money you make in a year, by closing loopholes and eliminating almost all deductions. About how businesses would pay less taxes and encourage growth and investments, which would translate to more jobs on the market. Finally, it would provide political leaders a stable income so they can plan for deficit reductions and increase various government programs such as student financial aid. Current tax code is far too complicated and is in dire need of being simplified. A flat tax can easily fix this. As it stands today, the current tax code is far too complex for most of us to understand. According to the U.S. Government Printing Office, the current Title 26 U.S. Code of Federal Regulations, or the Internal Revenue Code, is 16,845 pages long. That's roughly 11.5 times larger than the 1,444-page War and Peace by Tolstoy. These regulations have things like taxing the interest rate you receive on your savings account, effectively double taxing what money you make. A flat tax would abolish this and most other tax rules and deductions. Simplifying the tax code means you no longer need to pay as tax specialists or lawyers their high fees. Tax preparation places like H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt can charge you on average anywhere from $189 to $209 according to what's a reasonable price to pay for tax returns. A flat tax is all you need to do your taxes is your W-2 and one of two simple tax forms, both the size of a postcard. What's easier than that? According to the Heritage Foundation, flat tax would need only 2 credits and 3 deductions to be workable. Both of these credits would be aimed at lower and middle income families. The credits would be the usual earned income credit, which we have now, and a tax of $3,000 towards the purchase of health care, or the Affordable Care Act. The 3 deductions would be for college tuition, for higher education, for you and your child, charities and other donations that you can give to charitable causes, and your mortgage interest, which we have now. With a simplified tax code and limited deductions for an average person, what does this mean for the run-of-the-mill business? Well, a flat tax would mean that businesses keep more monies for the services and sales they make. This in turn allows businesses to hire more people at a higher wage, increasing our average lifestyle. This gives people the ability also to invest in whatever company they want to invest in, making these companies more competitive with each other due to the personal investments and the extra money that they get. A flat tax would also invite foreign companies to invest in building factories and stores here in America. This would promote and create job growth and give America competitive edge in the global market. A flat tax would also encourage research and development by way of a holdover tax called the Alternative Simplified Credit. The Heritage Foundation article, A New Flat Tax, Easy as 1, 2, 3, says that it is more likely because a credit for research and experimentation socializes this disbursement, benefits, and returns more value to the entity funding the research, thereby achieving more optimal levels of private research. Providing a business ability to grow and invest in our country, a flat tax gives our political leaders the ability to realistically to forecast our next year's income so they can correctly plan for the next fiscal budget. According to the Tax Policy Center, a flat tax would raise the economy input by 2 to 4% for the first few years and 6 to 9% after that, thereon. And several other countries have now a flat tax in effect. And according to a September 29th article in 2011, these countries currently enjoy an increase in their gross domestic product of an average of 21.8%. That would be huge here in America. All these projections are true to growth in product and gross domestic product. This will provide needed revenue for reducing current deficit of $16.3 trillion. That's a lot of money. It is also the revenue could be used towards government social programs, such as Social Security, student loans, the Affordable Care Act. It would provide more money to fund woefully inadequate education system and repair our infrastructures, such as roads, sewer system, water systems, and also increase our wireless structure here for internet service for everyone. Allowing our leaders to forecast income and use it for deficit reduction in various programs ensures that America is fiscally secure and people will have the programs that they need available to them rather than being cut because of budgetary constraints. As you can see, a flat tax has many benefits that would only increase our standard of living. I don't see any reason why a flat tax proposal shouldn't be put into action. This would only make those individuals and companies that hide their earnings in numerous ways have to pay their fair income tax. No longer would you hear companies like GE or Boeing paying no taxes, while people like making $20,000 having to pay 15%. Changing the tax code to a new flat tax rate would be simpler than the current tax code and close all loopholes in most deductions. It promotes business growth and expansion through investments. And finally, it also provides a stronger, more predictable income for our political leaders so that they can pay down to the soaring deficit that we have and fund needed government programs. I strongly believe that this current flat tax system is one of the best ideas we have to save our country from a crushing debt that we currently are accruing, and is also to save programs that people need. Thank you and happy holidays.